I definitely want to guarantee that the county has safe, state-of-the-art schools, rather than leaving some neighborhoods to worry whether their schools are going to be left behind. I think that our county, I know that our county commissioners had just passed a $120 million certificates of participation sale for the improvement of schools and the repairs of schools and new schools. And folks, I think that one thing that we need to do is make sure that these projects come in on budget and on time.
Mr. Coggins?
Oh, when it comes to schools, first of all, I start reevaluating the whole school system. See, it's like the people running the school system are building schools too small to start with. They built Lake Norman High too small to start with. Okay, now if you'd like to go to Lake Norman High, you got a center of that school could have 15 or 20 more classes there. You wouldn't have to add that whole end of it. You save money there. You go out and ride around this community, you can find elementary schools and schools that they used to put vehicles in or use for offices. Save money there. That gives you more money. And when it comes to salaries, some of these salaries that the people make in this county, and some of these things are ridiculous, start hacking salaries, freeze the salaries, and that's what it's going to stay for 9 or 10 years. They don't get more. And say, we're going to budget it, we're going to build it on this amount of money, and if you can't do it on that, we start again. But the overspending of this county is ridiculous, and it's done freely. You go to meetings and stuff, and if they don't listen to you, they're going to do what they want to do. But my way would be use what you got, or use what you got, the money you got, and don't build hotels, build schools, not hotels for them to go to classes in. Thank you.
Mr. Gallion?
I'm going to ask you, I didn't hear all your questions. Would you please repeat? I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's fine. What I'm talking about is the per pupil spending in Iredell County is below state average. And in order to provide our students with the quality of education that Iredell has always provided, and to meet the 21st century standards, that amount will need to increase. What new initiatives might you propose to help fund that?
Okay. Well, right now the school system is funded 25% by the county, and the state does 65%. The other 10 comes from federal. On the local level, and you said earlier we can't get into disagree on these objects, but I am working with the school system now, and I do not see the school misspending their money. I see us building bigger schools, and we're building 7 at this time. We are in the top 10 school systems in the 100 counties that we're in now, and I think that's applauding for all the school teachers and administrators, everyone who's worked there. To keep this down, we've got to keep funding at the level to keep our schools going. I don't think we need to back up. And whether it's another bond like we did in 2005 with the cops, yes, it was $120 million, but I think the school system we have now and administrators we have now are being good stewards of our money. And by all means, the county's overlooking them. Like I said, 25% of the money comes from the county. So I think we could just continue to monitor what we're doing and keep our administrators at that level.
Mr. Shepherd.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Gallion right here. I think that our school systems are in pretty good shape. I mean, I've just finished evaluating a set of scholarship applications for North Ireland High School, and it was a really tough job to try to select one student from that group. They were all very outstanding. I did a little calculation the other day. You know, 5% annual growth of population in Iredell County, which is about where we're at. That means we've got close to 7,000 people coming into this county a year. If you figure that, you know, they have children, some of them will have children, and the average number of pupils who are school age in that group, you're looking at probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 students coming into this county every year, in addition to what we already have here. That adds up to the fact that we have to have a new school almost every year. Now, obviously they're dispersed across the entire county, but if you took them into one group, that would be a school every year. And that puts a real hard strain on our budget. To date, we have been able to use the general obligation bonds, and we just did the certificates of participation, which have allowed us to keep up, and we are able to meet the growth needs now by borrowing the money and repaying it later. And I think that it's very wise that we do not delay in trying to build our schools. Because in the past, when we talked about building schools, there was always the talk of pay as you go. Well, the need's here now. We have to meet that need now. We've got to borrow the money, we've got to meet the need, and then we can pay for it later down the road. If we delay, the cost of construction of schools is just going to escalate, and it's actually a bad deal to wait.